shit, yeah, they breath stank. Walk up in the club, dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an X-ray.
What's going on, fight fans? It's another great day when you love MMA. Welcome back to Mad Matty Fight Talk, episode 14. Without any further ado, let's get into it. There's some big breaking news that's coming out. Not necessarily MMA, but it involves an MMA fighter. Tyron Woodley is going to be taking on Jake Paul. Unbelievable news that I am super excited for. Somebody needs to put this young buck in his place. It's going to be Tyron Woodley. I respect the fact that Jake Paul has actually accepted this fight. It makes him look like he actually has a pair of balls this time. He's not going to go pick on Ben Askren. So it makes things a little bit more interesting. If I'm Tyron Woodley, I am super excited for this fight. One, it's a fat payday, especially since you're going to be released from the UFC, or you have been released from the UFC. Obviously, that was going to be in the works. He was on a losing streak. He had some tough fights against some really, really high-level people. He had a run. He's here now, and now he gets to fight Jake Paul in a boxing match wearing 10-ounce gloves. I don't understand the mindset behind these guys. I mean, I haven't been famous on YouTube yet. I'm not a millionaire. Maybe the money, the fame, and all of the yes men behind you can get into your head and create this persona that you're invincible. I've met undefeated fighters who have had that same persona, and they have been humbled in the ring at some point in their career. Every great fighter has a loss, unless you're Mayweather. Jake Paul, he has 3 knockouts against subpar opponents. Apparently, he spars tougher dudes than who he actually picks fights with. These are his words exactly. He beats up all of his training partners. Very impressive, I guess, if you're on Jake Paul's bandwagon. If you're looking at it from a fighting perspective, taking on Tyron Woodley is probably the stupidest thing you could do as a fighter. He probably thinks that Tyron Woodley just can wrestle and maybe his striking is washed up. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Tyron Woodley is one of the hardest hitting UFC fighters. That's what he got famous for. That's how he won the title. That's what he does. He fights. He hits hard. He's a striker first. The way he brutally knocked out Josh Koscheck. The way he's knocked out other people before that. I'm just saying, the dude is a brick shithouse. Like, he's built, like he's a solid guy. He has a low center of gravity, and he looks like he has a lot of power. Jake Paul is riding a knockout against Ben Askren, where you're picking on a guy who came off of hip surgery. You handpick your opponents, all right? He signed a deal with Showtime recently, so now they're not going to let him just cherry pick opponents. I mean, maybe, but you're going to be fighting real fighters now. Tyron Woodley taking this fight is going to open a lot of eyes as far as his boxing talent goes. He was getting out-grappled by guys like Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns, and all kinds of other guys like this, right? Now we get to see him just throw hands. That man is from Miami. He's from the streets. He grew up fighting. He grew up fist fighting dudes. That's how he's made his name. That's how he earned respect. Jake Paul grew up privileged. He grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. The kid is famous off of YouTube, and when you're bored and you're rich and you're built like that, and you go in there and you spar these guys, you get this false sense of security, like, oh man, I'm just cracking these guys. They're just dropping in the gym. Training's one thing, fighting's another. Tyron Woodley is gonna humble this guy. It is the most exciting thing I've heard for fighting in so long. I don't like Jake Paul at all. I don't think he's a real fighter. I think he's a false guy. Like, I think he's just a bunch of bullshit. Like, I think he has a false persona. I think he knows how to market himself very well. I respect what he does. I respect the fact that he's been able to turn fighting into a career for himself. I do respect that. That takes a lot of balls to even step in the ring in the first place, so I give credit where it's due. You earned that. But at the same time, you're barking up the wrong tree now. You're going against a guy who was a former champion in the UFC, where they throw 4-ounce gloves around, and those are no joke. When you get cracked by that, they shut the lights out. 10-ounce pillows and getting hit by Jake Paul, I don't think is going to faze Tyron Woodley at all. I'm very curious to see what Jake Paul's game plan is for this. I will be doing a further breakdown the closer we get to that fight, but I just wanted to give you guys the news first and let you guys know what's up. Jake Paul has signed to fight Tyron Woodley. I personally think that he's going to pull out of this fight the closer it gets. I think he's going to start watching a lot of film on Tyron Woodley, which he should do if he's a smart guy, because you're going to need to. You're not going to be able to just go in there and throw your basic 1-2 against a guy who's seen a 1-2 forever. You're going to need a lot more tools than that, and I think Tyron Woodley's going to be a problem. I don't think this guy is going to be able to clinch up with him. I don't think he's going to be able to land clean shots on him. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Jake Paul is going to take on Tyron Woodley, and I couldn't be more happy for that fight. And in other news, we got Logan Paul. He's stepping in to take on Floyd Money Mayweather, the greatest of all time, the best ever. What a stupid motherfucker that guy is. Dude, take your money from YouTube and sit pretty, bro. Build your platform. Create some television shows. Create a content or something. You do not need to be fighting guys. You're not good at fighting. Jake Paul, on the other hand, your brother, he can lay the hammer a little bit. He at least knocks guys out. You're 0-1-1 or 0-1. You're taking on a dude who is literally 50-0. 50-0. He's never lost. The dude never loses. He barely ever gets touched. Conor McGregor is one of the greatest strikers ever in MMA. Couldn't touch him. Canelo Alvarez has one loss. Guess who that's to? Floyd Mayweather. Nobody can beat this guy. He's taken out every single dude he has fought. Zab Judah. The list goes on. Victor Ortiz. You can name them forever. Sugar Shane Mosley. Couldn't do anything. He touched him one time and didn't even fully drop him. I think it's a big mistake. Kid's young. He has a platform. He also has a bunch of yes men behind him. They're probably hyping him up. You know, I watched the lead-up episode they have to this where they go into detail about both fighters and they try to promote the fight. And they're saying, it takes one shot, Logan. That's all we need is that one shot, Logan. Logan, it's going to take more than one shot. This fool's putting up videos of him fighting the Gronkowski brothers, and he's saying, I just beat 3 professional athletes right there, blah, blah, blah. Those dudes never fought a fucking day in their life, and you could tell. They're just big body-built motherfuckers. Like, this kid, bro, I don't understand what these guys are thinking. If you respect fighting, you should know in your heart and soul that you have no chance in this fight. If you're a fighter, he says he's a fighter. He needs to fight. It's what his purpose is. Bro, take the fights that you should be taking. You should be taking entry-level fights. You should still be fighting amateur fights, to be completely honest. You are not ready for Floyd Mayweather. I will say Logan's a big dude, and if he connected clean, could do some damage. Floyd Mayweather's seen it all. He's been around forever. He's the best to ever do it. Manny Pacquiao couldn't even beat this guy. Logan stands absolutely no chance. I don't need to even do a fight breakdown on this. Anybody with common sense knows that Floyd Mayweather is going to put a beating on this kid. The people who don't know are obviously the dick-riding Logan Paul fans who are supporters, his YouTube people, some young kids, the Disney kids. Those guys are the ones, dick-riding and thinking that this guy actually has a chance. It's all fun and games until you step into the ring. And then when you're in the ring, you're all by yourself. And when you're all by yourself, Floyd Mayweather's going to put those fucking hands on you, bro. It's not going to be an easy fight for this kid. He's thinking that he's going to be able to keep Mayweather off, that he's going to be able to land shots and do his thing in there. You're crazy. Floyd Mayweather is the greatest at ring control. He's the greatest at clock management. He's the smartest guy in the ring at all times against all opponents. Nobody's been able to outsmart him. Nobody can land anything on this guy. And when they do land, they have one highlight of him. They'll get one highlight of fight where it's one punch that lands and that's it. Meanwhile, Mayweather's has 15-minute defensive highlights of dudes just missing, where he's just slipping everything, landing his jab, landing his counters. What he does is he lets you throw yourself out. It's a 6-round fight. So it's going to be interesting how he plays this one out. But you got to remember, the last exhibition fight that Floyd Mayweather took was in Japan. It was in Rizin. He fought Shinten something, some young Asian guy, a prospect out of Rizin. Dude, he knocked that kid down 3 times in the first round. He literally made that kid cry in the corner. Logan, you're next. You're going to be crying in the corner. You're going to be bloodied up. You're probably going to get knocked out brutally. This is not a game. You don't play fighting. When you call somebody out, talk about their dead wife, you're going to get fucked up, dude. It's going to be bad. Logan stands no chance. Any smart man in the world, I wouldn't even bet on this fight, to be completely honest. I can't even do a cash versus trash for this because you can't even, you'd have to put down a lot of, like 2,000 to win 100 on Mayweather at this point. Logan is such an underdog in his fight. He literally only has a punching chance. That's it. He needs to just throw haymakers blindly. Anytime he gets in there, he needs to let it rip. Because if he does connect clean, I mean, anything's possible in a fight. You could do damage. You could hurt this guy. Highly, 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 highly unlikely. I do not see it happening. I see Floyd Mayweather picking him apart from the beginning. I think Floyd Mayweather's going to get out there. He's going to establish his jab. Logan's going to miss probably for the first 2 minutes straight. He's going to be throwing and he's going to be missing. He's going to be trying to clinch up. I mean, if he's smart, he would try to clinch up because apparently he's good at wrestling. And I've seen him wrestle, so I will give him credit for that. If he clinches this fight and he can land inside the pocket and he can force Mayweather against the ropes, maybe something interesting can happen there. But as far as that goes, I'm pretty sure that Mayweather is going to stay on the outside. He's going to be in and out whenever he wants to be. He's going to control the ring like he normally does. This guy's the king of boxing. He doesn't lose. There's a reason he's undefeated. And that's against the top tier. He fought Canelo Alvarez, who is one of the greatest fighters right now. He's already beaten that guy. I would honestly rather see Floyd come back and fight Canelo. That's where my money would want to go. It'd be a lot better of a fight. But Logan stepping in, June 6th is when the fight is. It's going to be at the Miami Gardens Arena. It's an exhibition match, 6 rounds, and I think Floyd Mayweather gets it done in 3. I think 3 rounds is all it's going to take for Floyd Mayweather to knock Logan Paul out cold. I don't see him landing anything. I think Logan might land 1 punch the entire fight, to be completely honest. Unless they get inside and dirty box and Mayweather lets him play around, which he might let him do because, you know, Mayweather likes to have fun. I don't think it's going to go well for Logan. I think this kid's going to get humbled, he's going to get embarrassed, and he's going to wish he never took this fight. I feel bad for you, Logan. This is a good money opportunity for you. You're going to get a lot of clout, which is apparently what you guys like to do. But as far as fighting legacy goes, you're about to be 0-2 or 0-2-1 or whatever your shitty-ass record is, and they need to kick you out of boxing, bro. You need to do something else. You're not a boxer. You need to fight people on your own level. You need to do some exhibition matches against some other YouTubers because that's really the only people you guys stand a chance against. So as far as Logan versus Floyd Mayweather, man, the money team all day. Floyd's going to get it done. He's going to knock this kid out, and it's on to the next. Easy money, easy work. Point out the light work. It's that kid. Easy work, easy money.
Haters talking shit, yeah, they breath stank. Walk up in the club dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an x-ray.